Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Jazz from Jeweled by Jazz on Etsy, and today I'm going to show you how to prep a stainless steel cup before you bedazzle it. Let's get started. So here I have all the materials that you're going to need. So I have a stainless steel cup. Here's a piece of sandpaper. This is 150 grit. I use this one for all my cups and it works really well. I have a piece of vinyl that I already cut and a piece of transfer tape. I'm going to show you how to cut these down to size later on in the video. I have a Cricut tool for reading the vinyl, a X-Acto knife, and a pair of craft scissors. And you don't have to do this. This is just something that I like to do when I'm sanding my cup. So I have a mask and a pair of glasses. I mean, you can use goggles, but I like to use my glasses. And that's just to protect from any shavings that come up when you sand the cup. And of course, you need your Cricut and your Cricut mat. So now you're going to put on your mask and your glasses or your goggles, and you take the sandpaper and you start sanding all around the cup. And you want to do it just enough to where you can see the scuff marks on the cup. So sanding just helps to give the cup a rougher surface for when you want to add, say for instance, you want to add some paint to the cup to kind of give it a color underneath the rhinestones. And also it makes the glue adhere to the cup a lot better. You're going to use the sandpaper to scuff around the lid of the cup and also the base of the cup. And once you're done, you're just going to want to use some paper towel with some alcohol to kind of clean the cup to make sure there's no debris or oil left over on the cup. You can also just use water and a paper towel, and that works just fine as well. So on my laptop, I have Cricut Design Space open, and I open up a text box and I type in the initials, the letters or words that I'm going to use for the cup. And for this particular cup, we're using the initials KS. I just use the font Cricut Sans. I usually like to use Arial Narrow for my stainless steel cups, but Cricut got rid of that, so I'm going to have to look into getting that added back to my design space. So for these particular cups, I like to add the sizing. For the width, I like to put 2.2, and for the height, I put 1.2. I find that that sizing works really well on my stainless steel cups, and that's also the sizing that most of my customers request. So I just decided to make that my default sizing for my stainless steel cups. Okay, so now I am preparing to cut it. I'm going to show you how to cut your vinyl down to size. You just measure it on the Cricut mat, and I like to use my X-Acto knife to cut. Just put a small cut where the measurements are, and I like to give myself just a little bit extra space, because I find that sometimes when you're placing your vinyl down on your Cricut mat, that sometimes it's a little off. So I like to give myself a little bit of extra room on the top and on the sides. So I'm going to cut the vinyl out now. This particular customer wanted the color green for their letters. So I'm going to add the vinyl onto the mat. So I try to line it up according to how it looks on Design Space. So it does leave like a little bit of space on the left and a little bit of space on the top. So I line it up exactly like I see it on the computer. And then press it down with your Cricut tool. And if you're unfamiliar with how to use a Cricut, once you put it on there, you're gonna press the little flashing arrow lights and it feeds it into your Cricut Machine. And then you press the flashing C, and then it's gonna go ahead and cut out your initials for you. So once it's done, you're going to go ahead and press the flashing arrows again, and it will eject it from your Cricut Machine. So I like to give it another rub with the Cricut tool to kind of make sure that it doesn't come up when I'm weeding it. So now you're going to weed the extra vinyl off from the letters. Most vinyl usually comes up pretty easily. The holographic vinyl, it comes up easily, but sometimes it can, it can give you a little bit of trouble. And by trouble, I mean it might kind of rip or kind of give you some resistance as you're pulling it up. So you can measure your transfer tape the same way I measured the vinyl earlier, but I just eyed it and cut it according to the size. And the more you do it, the more you'll be able to kind of guesstimate how much vinyl you need. I mean, how much transfer tape you need, and vinyl as well. So then you just lay your transfer tape on top. Go ahead and press it down. The transfer tape that I use is actually it's Paper Studio transfer tape. I find that transfer tape works a lot better than any other brand that I've ever used, and I get that one from Hobby Lobby. I don't think anyone else sells it but Hobby Lobby. If they do, could you leave me a comment and let me know, because I really like that brand, and so far that's the only place I've ever seen that has it. So for adhering the initials to the cup, you want to line your vinyl up towards the middle of the cup. And I find that it's easier when you do it letter by letter instead of pressing both letters down at the same time, because it curves. It kind of can be, one of the letters can be a little higher or lower than the other one, so it's easier to just lay one letter first and then just move over about a half an inch, probably a little less than half an inch, and then layer the the next letter. So there's your letters adhered to your cup. And I like to save my vinyl after I use it once. If it feels like it has enough life in it, I'll just put it back onto the backing paper. And then now you're going to remove the paper from your mat. So next you're going to want to put the plastic covering back onto your mat to preserve the stickiness. And that's it, you guys. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe and leave me a comment. This is my first video, so I would really love some feedback from you guys. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.